also wanted to bring up something that you maybe just saw today, which was the latest services CPI for the last 3 months increased at a rate of 4.4%.
Yeah.
And I think you could argue that the services part of the economy that matters more. Certainly, I know you made that point repeatedly as far as the health of the economy. Don't worry about the manufacturing sector, focus on the service sector.
Yeah.
And actually that number aligns very closely with my friend Vincent Delaware and his haircut inflation. I don't know if you've seen that, but he thinks that's one of the purest ways of measuring inflation. You get away from all the government manipulation, and that's running about 4.5%, almost identical to what the core services CPI is. Again, last 3 months annualized. So I know one of your core beliefs is that we are in the stickier inflation environment, right, and that we're not going to return to where 2% was, the Fed's target, and actually maybe even the ceiling. Now that's probably a floor, or perhaps the floor is even a little bit higher. So I'm very much in sync with what you're saying, and I think it's, just think about the implications for the Treasury market based on that. If inflation is really running more like 4, then the term premium is even more absurd.
100%. Completely agree. I mean, don't forget that the part of the term premium calculation is the inflation risk premium, and the inflation risk premium is going to come from upside surprises in sovereign debt, which we would argue is arguably the highest probability outcome we see as a function of the forward turning is an upside surprise in sovereign debt growth. And so, in our view, we have a strong belief that the bond market is mispriced, and it's how do we go from today's pricing to either getting this mispricing resolved, or what factors will cause the mispricing to persist. It's our belief that the Federal Reserve will continue to insert itself by, having a, sort of a de facto, positive revision to their inflation target, which then allows them to be more dovish at higher levels of inflation than they otherwise would be with the 2%, the hard 2% mandate. Those are the types of choices that we think the Federal Reserve will make as a sort of lender of last resort, if you will, to the Treasury market to keep financial stability concerns at bay. Right, the Fed has a congressional dual mandate of price stability and maximum employment, but the reality is what we've learned in the last 30 years is that the only mandate that really matters to the Fed, the mandate that matters most, is preserving financial stability. And in our view, preserving financial stability starts and ends with maintaining smooth functioning in the Treasury market.